Napoleon Hill's famous statement, "Whatever you can conceive and believe you can achieve," is often simply not true. The problem with his bold statement is twofold. First, most people don't know how to create or change a belief. And second, beliefs are not egalitarian. In fact, our beliefs, values, and standards are quite hierarchical. Beliefs and values are powerful perceptual filters that steer our interactions with our environment. Our beliefs define our reality. So it seems that you need to create the right type and quality of belief at the appropriate hierarchical level of your value system before you can achieve and receive what your mind has conceived as an objective. Only if you create and nurture the right kind of belief will you be able to access the type of faith that can move mountains. The initial difficulty we often face in this process is due to the fact that our implicit, subconscious beliefs and programs seem to be able to overrule our explicit, conscious counterparts. Many of our personal issues, our challenges and self-sabotage factors are caused by a conflict between our explicit conscious beliefs and values versus our implicit subconscious beliefs, values, and habitual thought patterns. The same is true for conflicts between our personal implicit beliefs and values versus the value system and beliefs of the context we live and work in. Come to think of it, most conflicts are essentially caused by differing belief and value systems. In our executive coaching practice, we have found that aligning the explicit and implicit belief systems sets free an enormous amount of energy, which was previously tied up in these ongoing conflicts, enabling our clients to achieve truly satisfying success easily and elegantly. But as I stated earlier, there are many different types and levels of beliefs, which are linked up with each other in complex clusters, networks, and entire belief systems. The following model is an abstraction of this complex world of beliefs, which has enabled us in our coaching practice to help our clients to make the right kind of changes in order to achieve the results they desired. According to the Random House Dictionary, there are 3 types and levels of conscious explicit beliefs which can be categorized as follows. Confidence can be defined as the conscious belief in the truth or existence of something which is not immediately susceptible to rigorous proof. Certainty represents a stronger, deeper, often unquestioning belief in one's own mind that something is indeed true. Personal conviction usually includes a profound, powerful sense of inner knowing and a complete absence of doubt about the truth of a matter. According to our experience, trying to conceive and achieve the desires of your heart with such explicit beliefs will frequently lead to failure and frustration. It seems that even when you combine your explicit beliefs with sheer willpower, they will still be no match against the power of a strong implicit belief system if it is rooted deeply enough in your subconscious. When working with implicit, subconscious belief and value systems, which operate similarly to the software programs on your Mac or PC, we have found it helpful to address them at the following 3 levels. The first level of implicit beliefs is usually relatively easy to identify, as these beliefs operate just below the level of consciousness and have a fairly obvious effect on an individual's attitude, behavior, and performance. At this level, our perceptual filters seem to be organized in relatively recent, consistent networks and hierarchical clusters of beliefs, values, and habitual thought patterns. Going down one level, we start to encounter our compulsions. Have you ever made a firm decision to lose weight, maybe when writing down your New Year's resolutions, and then found yourself indulging in your favorite high-calorie food and putting on weight like never before? If so, you have probably seen the dramatic effect of your compulsive beliefs in action. Cravings, obsessions, and erratic patterns of behavior often originate at this level. Your compulsive beliefs typically operate like a pre-programmed autopilot, frequently overriding all of your well-meant conscious intentions. And finally, deep down in your subconscious mind, we encounter your core operating system, which tries to keep things running as smoothly as possible. This part of you typically does not like change. It tries very hard to protect you from harm, preventing potential risks, losses, and challenges to the status quo as far as ever possible. This part of your being was created very early in your childhood, and it normally includes a mix and match patchwork of fragmented beliefs, values, thought patterns, and self-concepts downloaded into your being by your parents, siblings, teachers, preachers, friends, and enemies. Creating or changing your beliefs, values, and standards at the explicit conscious level usually creates what we call evolutionary, incremental change. Many forms of therapy, leadership training, and business change management interventions operate primarily at this level. Honestly, this approach often feels like taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back, if you're lucky. But the reality is that more often than not, we may find ourselves taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back. On the other hand, creating or changing your subconscious implicit beliefs can be challenging too, as they first need to be surfaced and articulated before they can be realigned, redirected, or replaced. Your implicit beliefs are the fundamental programs active in your subconscious mind which effectively determine and drive your behaviors. Any change you make here is bound to have a revolutionary, transformational effect. Do you remember the story of the sorcerer's apprentice? You'd better be extra careful when meddling with your subconscious, or else you may be in for a nasty surprise. Instead of setting objectives and then trying to force your subconscious to comply with your wonderful plans, allow yourself to sense what it is that your heart truly longs for. What is the essence, the significance, the state your inner being wishes to achieve? Creating a gap between where you are now and where you want to be by setting yourself massive stretch goals is often praised by success gurus as the magical key of cognitive tension, which will force your subconscious mind and your spirit to come up with the creative ways of closing the gap. And essentially, this approach is sound and workable, except that I often meet clients who have gone over the top with this approach, creating a constant sense of not being, having, or doing enough, nurturing a permanent sense of lack in their life, which causes a sense of frustration, self-doubt, and suffering, even if most of the goals they have set themselves are met. If you learn to align your explicit goals, objectives, and aspirations with your implicit beliefs, with who you really are, as well as what you need, want, and desire deep down in your being, life becomes much easier, more satisfying, and more successful. With this approach, the pieces of the puzzle tend to fall into place. According to our experience, the best results are achieved if you are able to create a sense of total alignment between your explicit and implicit belief systems with a set of healthy, positive, well-formulated, emotionally charged objectives to maintain your focus. When you achieve this state, in which your inner and outer realities are perfectly aligned, there is no room for doubt. Your beliefs take on the form of an inner knowing, a state of absolute assurance that whatever you decide to be, do, or have will indeed happen. So, how do you change your beliefs and achieve this state of alignment? Check out our next video in this series on how to change limiting beliefs to find out, or try out the techniques and self-paced learning classes on how to reprogram your perceptual filters provided in our Elegant Success Academy website.